I just wanted to let it happen naturally. I didn't want to put my mind or my body under pressure to lose a certain amount in a certain time frame. I just wanted to change my lifestyle. We're back. Okay, so if you were here on Saturday, you saw that I posted my weight gain journey, and today I'm back at it with my weight loss journey. Same thing as last video. Trigger warning, if talking about weight gain, weight loss, health, food, eating, calories, fitness, any of that, sizes, if any of that makes you uncomfortable, please click out of this video. I'm leaving it up to you to know your own limits and what makes you feel comfortable. Plenty of other content on my channel you can check out. Like if you want like cute kitten stuff, you know, look at all the cute kitten videos, you know? That won't be triggering surely. So I've been hesitant to make these videos because I don't want to make people uncomfortable, because I don't want to trigger people, but I keep getting asked about it, and I do think it's an important topic, and that is why I ultimately am making this video. So if you have not seen my video from Saturday about my weight gain journey, then my weight loss journey won't really make sense. So I do recommend checking out that video before you come and watch this one. Where to begin? Yeah, so over the past few years, I have tried to lose weight a couple of times. You know, I got a personal trainer and I was only gaining muscle but not losing fat. So I was actually only getting bigger in terms of like circumference, in terms of measurements. I was actually getting larger because I was gaining the muscle but not losing the fat somehow. It wasn't converting, it was just kind of staying there too. And ultimately, you know, I believe it's like 80 or 90% of weight loss is food related, I believe is what they say. That like to lose the weight, it's mostly food, and then the tone is the workout aspect. So I did also try to do, you know, different things over the years to see if anything would work, but nothing stuck, nothing worked, because like I said in my last video, I've been gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free for the most part for a very long time. So there was nothing I felt like I could like remove from my diet or drastically change about my diet in order to lose weight. I was working with dietitians, nutritionists, naturopaths, and none of that stuff was sticking. None of it was resonating. None of it was feeling like it was working for me. So I would just give up. And ultimately, you know, when you want to lose weight, it's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. I think diet culture is very toxic, but lifestyle changes are really healthy and important to be your best self. And that was ultimately what weight loss was for me. Like I said, it wasn't about the aesthetics. It wasn't about the number on the scale. It wasn't about the size of clothing that I wore. Wearing size 4 didn't bother me. I knew that in the grand scheme of life, I was still on the smaller end of the spectrum. And I'm not going to be talking about numbers in this video because I have not once stepped on a scale. I can't tell you in numbers how much weight I've lost because I have not stepped on a scale, which just tells you it really hasn't been about measurements or numbers or sizes of clothing for me. Because if it was about that, I would have been tracking all of it, but it's not about that for me. And for me personally, those things are toxic. Stepping on a scale and knowing numbers, that is toxic for me personally. For some people, it feels important. For me, it felt like that would become a slippery slope and become dangerous for me. So I chose to completely ignore. I can't even tell you what size clothes I wear right now because it's been quarantine for months and I've been mainly wearing leggings. So, you know, I can tell a lot of my clothes are looser, but I haven't really put like jeans on or anything that requires a size. I know I'm definitely not a size 4 anymore. Maybe say I'm a size 2, maybe a 0, but probably a 2. I really don't know because it just wasn't about that for me. And as usual, this is like a typical Molly Rambles video. I didn't prepare notes or a timeline or anything, so I'm sorry if you wanted something really professional. We're super casual over here on this channel. Yes, I tried all these different things, and ultimately, I would go on work trips, and it's like, ooh, somebody else is paying for my food, and I'm eating at this restaurant, so sure, I'll get the dessert, even though I usually wouldn't. Sure, I'll get a cocktail, even though I usually wouldn't. All of these things that, you know, are high in calories, and because I was traveling so much, I was working out a lot less than ever before, so my body wasn't moving as much. Being blind, it's also just harder for me to like move my body as frequently and as much and as fast as sighted people do. So again, a lot of these things were contributing, and a lot of those things are what I looked at and said, I need to make a change somewhere in here. So part of that was changing my mindset as to work trips are work trips. Maybe I can have dessert one of the nights, but I'm not going to get cocktails or desserts or starters with every work meal I go out for. So just changing that and being like, you know, I'm just going to pay attention on the menu to what I'm ordering more. And then at home, I started using a food service. So this is not sponsored by any means. I've been paying for this for months. Late February is when I started this program. It's called Zen Foods. I'll link it in the description box below in case anybody is interested. It is LA based. They don't ship outside of LA because they actually make the food for you. So they fully cook the meals. Every single day they deliver you a cooler with fully prepared and cooked meals. The meals that are supposed to be hot, you just have to heat up. And the meals that are like salads, you just toss the dressing in, mix it in a bowl, and it's done. Everything is prepped for you. So it's not like, I don't know, like the Blue Aprons or the, I don't even know, Go Fresh. There's so many of them now, but it's not like those where they send you the individual ingredients and you make it. And it's not like a grocery shopping service. It is a fully cooked meal by a chef. And they have many different options. I chose the weight loss option because that is ultimately what I was looking to do. And essentially that meant cutting calories. And that's really why I've hesitated to make this video, because cutting calories is quite possibly the most controversial way to lose weight and can be the most triggering for people. So that's why I've been concerned to make this, because I know that the fact that I cut calories is going to upset some people, but let me just say I was doing it through a professional service. Number one. Number two, I have never felt hungry. It actually really helped me curb my appetite. I had such a strong appetite for the last few years, which is never how I was. I talked about this in my last video. Like, I just was eating more than ever before and I couldn't get full, and I don't know what was happening or why that was happening, but that wasn't ever how I was with food. This really helped that. I've never counted calories in my life. I've never looked at calories because the way I looked at it is if I'm eating healthy, I don't need to worry about calorie intake. And I think that can be true, but something had to change and nothing that I had tried was working. And so I was like, you know what? This is a meal delivery service. They will deliver my food every single day. It is foolproof. And if it's not working or I don't like it, I can stop. And that was kind of how I looked at it. So I gave it a try and I was like, wow, I'm never hungry now. And I was eating less calories, but I was never hungry. And this food was, heavy on protein, heavy on vegetables, very little carbs. I mean, vegetables are carbs technically, but like very little starches. And it was filling and it was tasty and it worked for me. So I can't tell you how many calories I started off intaking because I've never counted calories prior to this. And even now, I don't look at every single thing I eat and calculate my calories. I'm just more aware than I ever was before. I just never gave calories a thought. Now I'm like, I wonder how many calories that is. So the average adult woman should intake, from the research I've done, again, I'm not a professional. I'm just telling you what I did and what worked. The average woman should intake 2,000 calories a day. That seems like a lot for me because I'm 4'10.5", which is the average height of the Canadian 11-year-old. So I'm very petite. I am more child-sized, realistically, than adult-sized. But I'm a child that isn't still growing. So I couldn't even just look up, okay, what do, teens eat? Because they're growing still. So I was like, okay, I was trying to figure out like how many calories is healthy for me to be eating. And I found a calorie calculator. And the calorie calculator asked for my age, my height, my activity level, my gender, and it calculated how many calories I should eat a day to maintain weight, to lose weight, or to lose weight fast. It told me that I should be eating, to maintain weight, 1,500 calories a day, to lose weight, 1,200 calories a day, and to lose weight fast, 1,000 calories a day. And it said that under no circumstances should I ever eat less than 1,000 calories a day. I felt like that made sense for me. 1,500 calories a day made sense to me. I'm not the average woman. I am not the average height. I am not the average activity level. So that seemed to make sense to me, and that's the kind of rule book I followed. So what I did with Zen is they have multiple packages. You can get all 3 meals plus 2 snacks, all 3 meals plus a snack and a dessert, just 2 meals, just all 3 meals. You can break it down to whatever you want. I chose to, at the beginning I was doing 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I only did that for the first week because ultimately I don't like breakfast foods. So that just wasn't gonna work for me. But at the time, each meal was 300 calories. So that was accounting for 900 of my calories, which meant I still had room to have my snacks, to have my coffee, to have whatever I wanted to fill the rest of those calories. So I really liked that. I then dropped it to just lunch and dinner, which meant they were sending me approximately 600 to 650 calories a day. So I filled the other 400 to 600 calories myself with snacks, with my breakfast, that I would make at home. And I basically just researched, what are really healthy low-calorie snack options, what are, healthy low-calorie drink options. So I just did simple things like if I wanted to go out and have a drink, instead of drinking a gin and tonic or a cocktail, which was higher calorie, I would do a vodka soda with lime, which is much lower calorie. So I wasn't like limiting myself from enjoying things, I was just changing the things that I was enjoying. Instead of eating chips, I would eat one of the small bags of hippie snacks because it was like a lesser calorie but high protein snack for me. So I can honestly say I never went hungry. And if I was hungry, I ate. But I actually felt weirdly more satisfied. My appetite felt more satisfied cutting my calories than it had ever felt when I was eating whatever I wanted these past few years. And like I said, I never stepped on the scale. I never whipped out a measuring tape. If I had to guess, I would say I've lost between 10 to 15 pounds. But I don't know. And I didn't want to. I just wanted to let it happen naturally. I didn't want to put my mind or my body under pressure to lose a certain amount in a certain time frame. I just wanted to change my lifestyle. And with that, I began going to the gym and just doing 20 to 30 minutes of cardio every single day. And that was it. Those were the only things that I did. And I'm lucky that, when quarantine hit, it meant I wasn't traveling anymore, so I could really stick to this diet more than ever before because I wasn't traveling. When I would travel, I obviously couldn't get my Zen meals delivered, so I would have to be a little more cautious ordering on menus. But then quarantine happened, so unfortunately the gym shut down, but at least I was able to truly stick to the diet. And because I was bored and not really doing much, I definitely wasn't that hungry. So yeah, the weight has just naturally come off as I've reduced the amount of calories that I've eaten. I have not gone under, I'd say 1,100 calories a day. That's probably been like the least amount of calories I've eaten a day, which again, given I'm 4'10.5" and I am not very physically active and I sleep like 10 hours a day, I feel happy and content with that. I feel full, and if I'm hungry, I eat. Molly from the future. There's a few other things I felt like I wanted to go more in depth about or touch on a little bit further. Okay, so I touched on a little bit of what I was doing for working out, but I wanted to go a little more in depth. So basically, I was doing like very light cardio every day. So for me, what that looked like was on a lazy day, 20 minutes on the treadmill. On a good day, 20 minutes on the treadmill, 15 minutes on an elliptical. I tried to make sure that everything I was doing, food related, workout related, everything that I was doing was going to be sustainable. I didn't want to do anything super extreme that I was going to like burn out on or get sick of or life was going to get too busy for. I knew that like committing to doing a minimum of 20 minutes of cardio a day was something that I could find 20 minutes anywhere in my day to do because I have a gym in my building. So it literally really does only take like, if I'm doing just 20 minutes, it takes 5 minutes to get ready and then 20 minutes to work out. Like I was like, no matter how busy my day is, I can find the time to do that. So that's kind of a really big tip I have is do things that are going to be sustainable. Like for me, it's sustainable to, eat 1,500 calories on a hungry day and 1,200 on a less hungry day. And that's ultimately what I did the whole time is, by the way, take a shot every time I say ultimately. I feel like I keep saying ultimately right now. Sorry about that. That's probably annoying. But for me, that is a sustainable way to eat. And all throughout this past couple months of losing weight, I would on hungry days let myself eat that 1,500 calories or more. Like I was never so strict on myself, And also with working out, I would see a personal trainer once a week where I would do an hour-long workout of weight training. So I did cardio 6 days a week and then an hour of weight training 1 day a week. And that was my workout routine, and that's what I'm excited to get back to doing. And I will say the most immediate thing that I noticed upon just changing my lifestyle, just doing that 20 minutes of cardio a day and just changing the amount of calories I was intaking, my energy levels skyrocketed. Like it was crazy. I've never had so much energy in my life. I went through a phase where I stopped drinking coffee and matcha because I was like, if I drink coffee or matcha, I'm gonna be bouncing off the walls. I have so much natural energy. And it was amazing to feel like that. So that was like another big change I noticed instantly pretty much was within like the first week, my energy levels just totally changed. In talking about making sustainable lifestyle changes versus doing really, really extreme things for weight loss, I also want to talk about the fact that like you don't have to lose 10 pounds in a month. I've lost 10 to 15 pounds in like 3 or 4 months, you know? Don't put your body or your mind or yourself under any pressure to lose weight fast, because often losing weight fast can mean you're doing those extreme things, and losing the weight fast, once you stop that extreme diet or workout routine, you know, the weight is gonna go back on. And I see so many of these weight loss videos on YouTube being like, how I lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks. And maybe for them, they were able to do it in a healthy way. Maybe for them that was healthy, but I just personally don't think putting yourself under pressure to lose weight fast is the way to do it. It's okay to take 6 months to lose 10 pounds. The important thing is that you're making progress and making healthy lifestyle choices that are bettering your life. Currently, I would say I'm in like the middle of what's healthy for my height. Again, I haven't taken measurements or weighed myself, so I don't know for sure. Just based on the amount I feel I've lost, I would say I'm like bang in the middle of what's healthy. I'm not on the low end, I'm not on the high end, I'm right kind of probably around that middle section, and I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to be in that middle ground. So I'm not actively trying to lose any more weight. I'm currently trying to maintain. And the fact that the gym in my building is beginning to open up again and I will be able to go back to doing cardio every day, I don't know, I might lose a bit more weight, but I'm not actively trying. I'm happy where I'm at. I feel really good. You know, I will say, like, when I gained my weight, the only thing that ever made me feel uncomfortable about my body is other people's opinions and other people's comments. And now I don't know, it's been interesting because LA is opening up and I've been able to start, you know, seeing the odd person in my life again, and they haven't seen me for 3 months, and a lot of them are seeing me and they're like, oh my god, you lost so much weight, you look so great. And I'm trying to just live in this middle ground in my mind where it's like the negative comments really got me down. Like when people would like, when I'd post a bikini photo on Instagram and people would be like, wow, it's so great that she has enough confidence to show off her body like that, and like stuff like that, or like, god, it's nice to see a woman with thick thighs being confident enough. And it was like, I didn't realize my body was something to be so insecure about. Thank you. So I'm like, I really tried very hard to not let those comments get to me. And I know it was the one thing that would affect me. So I'm trying really hard, like as good as it feels to get these comments of like, oh my gosh, you look so great, you lost weight. It's nice. It is nice to hear like that people recognize that, because I have put effort in and it does feel like an accomplishment to me that I did lose the weight, and I can't see in the mirror. So I don't get that validation myself of being like, yes, girl, you did it. You look great. But I'm also trying not to let like those comments get too much to my head or like affect my own self-image too much. I'm really working on only letting my own opinions of myself matter, or at least giving those opinions, the opinion of myself, the most weight, and taking on the opinions or the words of others, but not letting it affect me too much, if that makes sense. Anyways, back to past Molly. Wrap up this video. I hope for some of you this was helpful. All I can say is if you're on a weight loss journey or you want to start a weight loss journey, make it about your health, not the aesthetics. Make it about how you feel, not how you look. Don't step on the scale every day. Please don't step on the scale every day. Don't measure yourself every day. I really do think those things are toxic and contribute to toxic diet culture. You know, I've seen it affect people in my life and it consumes them. When they step on that scale every day and they go up a pound or down a pound, you guys, it depends on if you've pooped that day, how much you've drank that day, your water weight. For women, it depends on where in the month your cycle is. Like, there's so many things that can contribute to daily fluctuations in weight, which is why it's so important to not look every day, in my opinion. This is just for me and what I feel and think. But that's all. Remember, please love yourself at whatever size you're at, wherever you are in your journey. Love and accept where you're at and make positive changes for your health and to be your best self, whatever that is, whatever it feels like, whatever it looks like for you. I really, really, really don't want this video to make other girls feel, or men feel, that they need to lose weight because they are bigger than me or because they're a different size than me. I am just sharing why I chose to lose weight and how I did it, and that's it. So I hope you found this video interesting and enjoyed it. I've done it now. I don't have to speak about it again. All right, click up here if you want to see the weight gain journey and haven't watched it yet, and click up here for an outfit of the week summer fashion inspo video. Love you guys. Bye.